2021 American League Championship Series presented by Loan Depot. Back in Houston, and they are ready. Here at Minute Maid Park, Astros up 3-2. And now welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. My name's Joe Buck. That is a Hall of Famer. His name is John Smoltz. John, we've watched every pitch of this American League Championship Series, and the momentum swings have been unbelievable. I don't remember a series where it's felt like this. And, I mean, the narrative changes, and now here we are. It felt like Houston was, well, they were up 1-0. Then Boston took it. Now Houston has it. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's a huge teeter-totter. If you're thinking about this series, try to predict the ending. I don't think you can, because it started off well for Houston. They took game 1, so they're on top. Well, the next 2 games, I can't even tell you. It was over. The series was over because Boston exploded on their offense, and then one incredible inning started the teeter-totter swing for the Astros. They lead 3-2. And this is all you need to know about the series. These offensive numbers have really flipped the script. If you think about it, Houston, in every category, has had an unbelievable momentum switch. And for Boston to get back in this series, they're going to have to go back to the game 2 and game 3, get some walks, get some hits. And who knows, they may do the same thing.
Yeah, well, you mentioned game 2, game 3. Game 2, the starter was Luis Garcia for Houston and Nathan Eovaldi for the Boston Red Sox. It's a rematch of game 2. Who's got the advantage here tonight?
Well, the advantage always seems to be the home crowd when you're out there. But if his knee is healthy, Garcia doesn't have to go as long as Eovaldi because they've got a rested bullpen. But for Boston, they have the right man on the mound. Eovaldi is their weapon. He's their horse. I don't think the 9th inning will play that much, but all eyes are going to be on what he did in the 9th inning. Will that affect his start? For Boston, they're going to ride his arm, get some hits to try to force a game 7. For Houston, Johnny Bullpen.
Johnny Bullpen, buckle up. We have no idea what's coming our way here tonight. One thing we do know, we're back in Houston.
Booker. Game 6, ALCS, Houston Astros versus Boston Red Sox. I gotta know, what do you think?
Man, I feel good. We got Carlos Correa. We got Jose Altuve. We got Alex Bregman. And tonight, we gonna be raining bombs. 1 win away from the World Series. And guess what? We still got Boston in our way. I got to go. Can you dig it, sucker?
Adios, way out of here. Gone. The Astros strike first. Astros on top. Hits it a ton. Grand slam. How about another? Unreal. Just like that. Damage done.
Houston, are you ready? It's game 6. Now can you dig that, sucker?
Stamped their ticket for their 3rd World Series over the past 5 years. They won it all in 2017. In 2019, they watched the Nationals celebrate here in Houston. What's it going to be in 2021? Up 3-2 as we're about to start game number 6. That is Sister Mary Catherine, one of the rally nuns, throwing out the first pitch tonight. And with that, we'll send it down to the field. And Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Joe. Astros manager Dusty Baker is a Renaissance man. And no, he has not been around that long. But at 72, he has managed 24 seasons and won more games without winning the World Series than anybody else. He is 6-16 in potential clinches. And tonight, he gets to knock on the door again. This postseason, Dusty has quoted from Van Morrison to Bob Marley to Bob Dylan. And the words of Van Morrison seem appropriate tonight. In order to win, sometimes you have to lose. Dusty Baker is well prepared for this moment. Now here's Ken Rosenthal.
Tom, no matter what Nathan Eovaldi does tonight, the Red Sox are well positioned to cover enough innings for 2 games. Tanner Houck hasn't pitched since Game 1. Eduardo Rodriguez is in play tonight, as is Nick Pivetta on a limited basis. For the Astros, Luis Garcia is on a short leash. The hope is that he can provide 12 to 15 outs, enabling the Astros to turn the game over to their one-inning relievers. Christian Javier, unavailable tonight after throwing 57 pitches in Game 4. That makes Jake Odorizzi the potential long man. The big question with Garcia is whether he can get through Boston's left-handed hitters in the first inning. If he does, the Astros will feel much better about his chances. Joe?
All right, guys, thank you. Great job setting up what we're about to watch unfold in front of us. Is Garcia coming back from that knee injury. Dusty Baker telling us it was a legit knee injury, something that's bothered him much of the year. One of those left-handers right out of the gate, Kyle Schwarber. He'll start it. Then Kike Hernandez, Rafael Devers, Xander Bogaerts. Batting in the 5 spot, JD Martinez, Alex Verdugo, Christian Arroyo, Hunter Renfroe, and Kevin Plawecki is doing the catching for the Red Sox tonight. Here he is, Luis Garcia. We saw him for 1+ in Game 2. What do you expect tonight?
I expect a little different music in his rhythm motion. If his knee's good, I expect him to spin a lot of breaking balls and use those breaking balls to try to neutralize the right-handed hitters. As they mentioned in the open, getting the left-handers out will be the key.
Bends it in for strike one to Schwarber. The Red Sox, in their playoff history, they've won 6 straight Game 6s. Dating back to 2003. Schwarber trying to get it going. Just 3 for 21 in this ALCS. And over the last 2 games, the Red Sox hitters hitting just $131. After all those hits and home runs early in this LCS.
Well, if Framber showed the Astros pitchers anything, when you attack this lineup with strikes, you've got a better chance of success. If you are constantly in hitters' counts and walking them like they did in games 2 and 3, the Red Sox are going to feast. They want to get back to controlling the counts, and I think the Astros found a little room for success if they can dare to throw enough strikes.
Still 0-2.
And what happens, Joe, you get intimidated, right? Even though when you see that offense unleashed like it did for 2 days, you think every pitch you throw is going to be a hit. So you try to make a perfect pitch every time you get behind. And what Framber did is said, here, go ahead, hit it. Throw strikes, got ahead, and he pitched the game of his life to turn this series around.
Yep, 8 strong. 2 afternoons ago at Fenway. Another 0-2 to Schwarber. Struck him out. Ball gets away. Schwarber down to first. And safe. How about that start? Garcia gets the strikeout. Maldonado can't handle it. And by the time he gets on it and throws to first, Schwarber's aboard to start the game.
Yeah, this rarely happens. See how the ball just gets through his glove and through his legs. And by this point now, Schwarber recognizes, and there's just no way to make up the difference. Great start for Garcia, but also a great start for the Red Sox. See if they can capitalize.
It goes down as a strikeout and a wild pitch. That call could have gone either way, by the way. As Maldonado was just handcuffed. Here's Kike Hernandez, just 1 for his last 10 after dominating over the first 3 games. In for a strike. Pretty good zip.
Yeah, he looks good. If that right knee is, see, pitchers pitch on the insides of their knees, just like hitters hit on the insides of their knees. That's why it's so important to have balance over the rubber. And when you have mechanics and you feel good, the ball's going to come out good. And right now the fastball's got a little life on it.
Big hole on the right side of the infield for Hernandez. Hard hit, diving stop. Altuve bounces it for the out. 1 away. What a play by Jose Altuve. And his only chance with the infield swung around for Hernandez to pull.
Wow, that's the difference of a potential huge inning. That would have been possibly a double the way they had him shifted. This ball's lined, one hop, and the only play, you're right, he can make, and he knows he can just one hop it over there because it's hit so hard. What a great play.
People have questioned his defense. He's made a couple of errors in this series, but when they need Altuve to step up, he just seems to do it in October. With the glove, with the bat, one out. Brings in Devers. Five home runs this postseason for Devers. 3 in this series, and he goes after that first delivery, strike one.
We can talk about all the different spin rates that exist today, and believe me, pitchers spin it better than most than we've ever seen. But the well-located fastball for a strike, getting and pitching off your fastball is such a big key. And in this series, you could see the game switch when the offenses had their way without the pitchers throwing strikes with their fastballs.
'96 again from Garcia. Strike two.
The only thing, if the Red Sox can expose the shift, I mean, obviously they've got to win a game, right, to get to game 7. With fastballs throwing to Devers, he can shoot it the other way with a fastball. Breaking ball, he'll pull it into the shift.
High fly ball into right center field. Going to get it is McCormick. Tagging is Schwarber. Throw over and safe. He's there with 2 out.
Tell you what, he slipped or didn't get good footing when he went back to tag. Very risky. And if that ball was caught, I think it would have been, it was hard to catch it because the throw was right into the runner. But if he catches this right here, it could potentially be a game momentum switching out. See how he slipped a little bit.
Able to make it to third on that fly ball to center by Devers. And Bogaerts will dig his way in, trying to put Boston on top. A strikeout, the ground out on the terrific play by Altuve. Devers the fly out. Here's Bogaerts.
Bogaerts usually takes the first pitch, but I would not make that a priority if I'm Garcia. I'm going to put him on swinging, even though statistically he takes a lot of first pitches in his first at bat.
True to form, he takes a strike. Game 2 is the game where Boston got the grand slam by J.D. Martinez. That happened in the first, and then against Odorizzi, a grand slam by Devers the next inning. The game was basically over before it started. Red Sox trying to strike first in game 6. Strike 2. Been ahead of all hitters in this inning. Here's the defense. Brantley is in left with McCormick in center and Tucker in right. Around the infield, Bregman, Correa, Altuve, Gurriel, Maldonado trying to guide Garcia through this start.
As good of a hitter as Bogaerts is, the one area you can get him is a bigger breaking ball away. That was a cutter slash slider that he checked swing and fouled with 2 strikes.
Oh, 2. That's the first one out of the strike zone that Garcia has thrown in this first.
And that was the first one he threw, saying, I'm not giving up a hit. 0-2 right there. He pulled it into the ground. 11 strikes, 1 ball, and this one was on. Never had a chance coming out of his hand. A good stop with a runner on third.
Left side, Bregman. What a job by Garcia. Gets around the strikeout wild pitch, helped out by his defense and Altuve. After a half in game 6, no score. Lineup, Jose Altuve leads it off. What a play he just made. Then Michael Brantley, Alex Bregman in the middle. Alvarez, Correa, and Tucker. Backhand Gurriel, McCormick, and Maldonado. Against the right-hander, Nathan Eovaldi, who is working on 2 days rest after the 24 pitches. And he took the loss Tuesday, game 4 at Fenway.
Well, the key is going to be if he doesn't get underneath the baseball, meaning if he's not fatigued, he's going to be max effort. He's going to throw 97 to 99 to 100 miles an hour. Look at the secondary stuff to see if he's got that kind of touch. When you're a little bit fatigued and you've been into action outside of your starting normal routine, that's what can suffer. But I'll tell you what, it's strength against strength. Some of the best fastball hitting players in the lineup on the Astros against a fastball pitching machine in Eovaldi.
Altuve grounds to second. Arroyo guides it across, one away, one pitch, one out. Boy, Altuve loves the first pitch. Yeah. Take a look at the defense for Boston. You know Arroyo. In the outfield, it's Verdugo in left, Kike Hernandez in center, Hunter Renfroe is in right. Around the infield, Devers, Bogarts, Arroyo, Schwarber, Plawecki does the catching for Eovaldi.
So here's the dilemma for the Astros. They love hitting fastballs, but you do want to get the pitch count up of Eovaldi. But you also want to get the first fastball you could see so he doesn't throw the 4 other nasty pitches. So we'll see what wins out, but he's a strike throwing, one of the best at throwing strikes.
95 from Eovaldi.
You know Brantley every game knows he's got to take the first pitch because Altuve's going to swing at the first pitch.
Michael waits. Nathan brings it. And a little flare to Arroyo. 3 pitches, 2 out. On the Fox Bet Sportsbook app, they have the Houston Astros over-under for runs tonight set at 4.5.
That's a tough one, Joe. They know what they're doing when they set those numbers. But the way this series has gone, somehow, some way, each team usually gets over that number.
So that's kind of your final answer there? You're saying over?
Yeah.
Here's Bregman. Alex with the bases empty takes a ball up.
It's an amazing spread of pitches that he throws. Every pitch thrown at least 10%. He's got 5. Cutter, fastball, curveball, split, and a slider.
Off the end of the bat, base hit. Bregman is on with the red-hot Yordan Alvarez coming up. Bregman this postseason was hitting just 167 with the bases empty. Astros will take it. How about the game Alvarez had in game 5? I would imagine you watch him from up here and you say he's almost impossible to get off balance.
Yeah, he is. Look, no one's going to be David Ortiz ever again, but this guy for me is in the mode of a David Ortiz. What I mean by that is he can take you to all parts of the field. He's never seems like he's off balance, and this guy has been a stud when he's been healthy.
He just wore out left field in game 5. Eovaldi drills the inside corner, strike 1.
Even the setup a little bit like Big Papi, but Alvarez so calm. You can get him out with velocity up. Velocity up he struggles with. Velocity down he can hit the other way and get his hits.
In the air to right center field, back at the track. It is the wall. In to score is Bregman, and the Astros strike first in Game 6.
I'm telling you, Kike almost got to this ball. This ball was absolutely smoked. Hanging breaking ball in the middle of the plate. And he hits it to the farthest part of the park. And I thought Kike had it.
Yeah, he has a shot at it right here.
And he just missed it.
He missed it.
Wow. I mean, he got to that ball, and that ball handcuffed him somehow.
Right off the heel of the glove, and Alvarez has put Houston on top.
Now, don't get me wrong, that wasn't an easy play, but when he got there, he was trying to catch the ball as he was going to the wall, almost slowing down to stop and catch it in that fashion that you saw him have the glove, but it misjudged it, and it actually got it below the glove and hit him in the heel of his hand.
Still no ruling yet as to whether it's an error or a 2-out RBI double. The Astros don't care. They lead 1-0 here in the first.
Yeah, for me, that's a double. I know we could slow things down and make it look like 90% of the time Kike would have caught that, but he had to run a long ways.
It's a double. No error. A 2-out RBI double by Alvarez. What a run he's on. Correa waits. Hits it off the end of the bat into right center, and Hernandez puts this one away. 2-out action for Houston. Base hit by Bregman. And then the ball hit by Alvarez into the heel of the glove of Kike Hernandez. And with that, Houston on top after 1. Astros get a first inning run, and now for Boston, the DH Martinez, Verdugo, and Arroyo against Luis Garcia. Oh, by the way, more 2-out damage by Houston. 24 2-out runs.
It's unbelievable.
24 of the 32 have happened with 2 out.
And they didn't do that. They were one of the lower percentages, if I read that right, and during the year on 2 outs. They just do something different in the postseason and lock in because their hitters are just so disciplined. They don't take anything for granted. They take advantage of everything.
That ties the most in any postseason series all time. Division Series Astros in 04.
And honestly, that's what the Red Sox are too. I mean, when we saw this stretch run from the first series against the Rays to really the first 3 games of this series, they have been as locked in and disciplined. Now they got to get back on that train, if you will.
Boy, it's just been nothing but strikes from Garcia. 0-2 on Martinez.
I know this sounds trivial, Joe, but I think the game, again, when you see one of your teammates carve up a great offense by just attacking, I think it gives you confidence to go out there, because this young man didn't last very long and was missing the plate, and of course he had an injury, but I think his fastball, 9 of the 12 in the first inning, 95 or plus or more. 9 of the 12.
Martinez, with a count of 0-2, takes that ball. 4 for 15 in this ALCS. But yeah, I mean, you guys had that every night, it felt like, in Atlanta. Watching another Hall of Famer go out there and do his thing, and then trying to pick up where the other guy left off. Here's a 1-2 to Martinez. Another foul ball.
Well, just to show you, like in the first game he pitched, only 2 of those 18 were 95 or more. So he's juiced up, he's ready, and he knows what's at stake.
More innings pitched this year than any other in his pro career. He's at 160 innings total for the year. Brent Strom, his pitching coach, he has to like the early returns. The 1-2. Struck him out, one away. go back to the first inning. Kike Hernandez, who nobody could get out, takes that high delivery and smashes it to Altuve on the other side of the bag, and he makes a brilliant play. And then in the bottom of the inning with 2 out, can't handle the ball, hit by Yordan Alvarez. And with that turn of events, and the teeter-totter keeps going up and down in this thrilling series, the Astros in the wash end up with a 1-0 lead. There's a strike to Verdugo.
Normally, the theory and the theme in a best-of-7 is you pitch your way into it or pitch your way back into it. This theme has been you hit your way back into it. It's been about the offense. Look, it's been 2 innings that the Astros had in Boston, and those 2 innings produced a ton of runs. But that game was tight. That game was ready to flip Boston's way, and now 1 game away, Houston, from moving on.
Up and away, and Garcia falls behind for the first time.
All I can think of for some reason is if he had a Fitbit on, he's getting more steps than any pitcher in baseball. He's getting his steps in, a lot of them before he even throws the ball.
Gently rocking, and then wham. Missing here in the count 3-1.
It's a good pitch right here. Inner half, maybe a little bit down, but Verdugo, who wasn't taking walks in a long stretch without walks before the postseason, is definitely taking his walks this series.
3-1 pitch is down, a 1-out walk, and it was Xander Bogaerts who was saying before the game, and you touched on it, John, in the first inning. The Red Sox need to get back to taking their walks. They took 13 walks games 1 through 3, 8 in games 4 and 5, 1 in game 5, and that was the brilliant pitching of Framber Valdez, who, as you said, just said, I'm coming right after you.
Yeah, go ahead and hit it. Try to hit this sinker.
We'll check in with Tom Verducci here in just a moment about Brent Strom and something he worked on with Luis Garcia. Batter now is Arroyo. Arroyo's moved up in the lineup. Hunter Renfroe moved down. Ball 1 to the Boston second baseman.
Yeah, Arroyo hunts fastballs. That's what he wants to hit. Breaking balls a little bit of his weak spot. Sliders and curves.
So Alex Cora before the game, he told us, I'm in the business of presenting the glass half full.
Yep.
They're down in the series, but it's all still out in front of them here in Houston. That is fouled back. And he didn't say this in a disrespectful way. He said, I told my team, look, they had 2 great innings at Fenway Park, and otherwise we just got to keep doing what we've been doing.
Yeah, and that business is a strength of Alex and leadership, and making sure that your team sees what he sees and then conveys it. As a player, you can only do so much with your teammates to encourage, 1 at bat, 1 pitch at a time.
1-1.
I used to say, like, you could never play postseason baseball in the regular season. First of all, everyone would get hurt if you adopted this theory. In the postseason, every pitch was hyper-focused. Every decision was possibly your last one because you're not guaranteed another start. In the regular season, you get 35 starts, so you can't approach it like that. Same thing with hitters. If you slow the game down and only think pitch to pitch, it's going to take longer in the mental part of it, but you'll be better for it.
Good pitch by Garcia, 2-2.
And that's what we used to encourage each other about. Okay, one pitch at a time, 1 inning at a time. When you break it down in a postseason game and slow it down, you got a chance to be successful. The regular season, you're just trying to get through it, man, the best way you can, and put up the numbers are going to be what they are.
2-2 the count. 1 on, 1 out. Houston up 1. Popped up on the infield. Altuve. 2 out. Tom Verducci, what did Brent Strom see?
Well, you're seeing a different pitcher tonight, and it all relates to a small mechanical change that Luis Garcia made with his right foot, the one against the rubber. What he's doing out of the windup and the stretch, that right foot is parallel with the rubber. Now, in Game 2, he had his left heel on the rubber and the ball of his foot in front of the rubber, so it was angled, and that was forcing his knee forward, and that's why he had knee discomfort. Joe, I know from your time in the gym when you're doing squats, you want that knee over your foot to bear the weight. That's what he's doing today. We're seeing velocity like we didn't see in Game 1. We're seeing the swing and miss putter, a different pitcher with a small mechanical change.
Breaking ball is down to Renfroe.
And that's a good point. You wonder how a pitcher can get into a habit like that, or just 1 start or 2 starts. But that is such a big difference. The power, I said, is between your knees, inside your knees, not the outside of your knees and the big muscles. And so if you've put and tilted your angle with that foot, which is the most important one, and you've created a different type angle, that's going to put pressure on joints, as Tom said, and that's a huge pickup by the Astros staff and certainly him.
Good one there. 1 ball, 1 strike. His stuff is night and day from Game 2. Breaking ball is tight. Velocity is up. There are the numbers for Renfroe. 1 for 14 in this series. But Alex Cora is sticking with him, likes his defense out in right. Little pop up, shallow right center, and it's Altuve to end the inning. Red Sox have left 2, bottom of inning number 2. 1-0 Houston. Welcome back to the 2021 American League Championship Series, presented by Loan Depot. 1 run on 2 2-out hits in the first inning for Houston. They lead. Kyle Tucker, Yuli Gurriel, and Chas McCormick against Nathan Eovaldi. Strike 1. Tucker loves sitting here at Minute Maid. .327 here at home this year. 5 hits, one of them a home run in this series. Grounds into the teeth of the defense. Bogarts has out number 1. Our player resume is sponsored by Indeed. And as Yuli Gurriel walks in, he is a 37-year-old first-time batting champ. And in this ALCS against Red Sox pitching, hitting a cool .474.
They better get the ball down to him. You're doing a favor if you throw belt high. He could do so much more with it because he sprays the baseball. And he has such an incredible, he coils his top half and he's got it closed, but he can stay closed long enough that if a pitch is in, he can fight it off to right field. If it's down and in and low, he can hit it over the left field wall.
1-0 from Eovaldi. The fly ball into center. Hernandez hardly has to move. 2 out. And the batter will be McCormick. Been good in this series, been good in the postseason. We still haven't seen Jake Myers. They thought coming in might have to sit out the first 2 games of this ALCS after slamming into the wall in Chicago in the division series. We still haven't seen him. So they've pretty much played shorthanded to this point. Strike one hits the outside corner.
Yeah, they have played shorthanded, and so far it hasn't cost him anything, but
That's it.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's into left center field. Pretty well hit and caught by Verdugo. Nice catch. Eovaldi loves it. Oh, yeah. And now the Red Sox flash some leather. 3rd inning, game 6. 1-0 Houston. In this series, for every moonblast home run over 425 feet, FTX is donating $10,000 to charity. Kevin Plawecki, number 9 hitter, shoots that one foul to start the 3rd inning. '35th overall pick by the Mets back in 2012. Backing up Christian Vasquez and getting a chance to catch with Eovaldi on the mound. He takes a strike. It's 0-2.
That is just, if you could throw his fastball there. He doesn't throw his breaking balls a lot for strikes, but he doesn't have to when he gets ahead with the fastball, because now he's going to make this breaking ball look like a strike if it's successful swing and miss and work its way off the plate. You just never make, see, you never, pitching's easy when you can throw the ball where you want to, and then it becomes more difficult when hitters are as good as this team is and you make mistakes. You practice this all the time in the bullpen, trying to pitch down and away and then throw your secondary stuff off of it. He spiked it right there.
One-two pitch from Garcia is hit to third. Bregman kicks it, picks it, throws it high, and the tag for the out. Good play by Gurriel after Bregman kind of hung him out to dry a bit.
Play kind of felt like it was in slow motion the whole time. And then once he picked it up, you figured, okay, he's got it easy, and the ball sails. And the old catch it high, tag him high. Just hope that no one gets hurt in that play.
Yeah, and usually it's the first baseman, and now Gurriel's kind of grabbing at his arm a little bit. That left arm, that's what got Muncy with the Dodgers. There've been some nasty injuries with first basemen getting their arm caught with a runner crossing the first base bag. Back to the top of the order, and Kyle Schwarber, who struck out but reached on a wild pitch his first time, ball one.
I don't know what we're going to do in the future, but I always felt like that was an easy fix at first base. Extend the bag a lot farther in foul territory. Give the runner the bag and the first baseman the bag, and less of that happens.
There's a strike, 1-1. So just a wider base.
Yeah, in foul territory. Yeah.
One ball, one strike, one out, nobody on. Schwarber chops one to Gurriel, foul ball. Home plate umpire in this game is Jim Wolf. David Rackley is at first base. He umpired game 1 behind the plate. Saw Rob Drake, Bill Miller. The crew chief is now at third. Laz Diaz in left, and Dan Iasonia in right. One, two. Struck him out. Third strikeout of the night for Garcia.
Tremendous carry, and he's going straight forward on that fastball. Downhill, finishing good. And not holding back at all.
Dusty Baker has got to be thrilled with what he's seeing. All the questions to Dusty before the game were really kind of just expecting a short outing by Garcia. And he's pitching like where Framber Valdez left off 2 nights ago at Fenway. Valdez went 8, allowed 1 run on 3 hits. No hits so far for Boston. 2 out in the third, and a high fly ball. Center field. And how about Garcia, the 24-year-old from Venezuela, in charge here in game 6. 1-0 Houston. Follow all the action of the postseason with the MLB app. From real-time tracking of every pitch to in-depth analysis of the games. Download the MLB app today and make this postseason major. It's Maldonado first up. Martin takes a strike. Number 9 hitter with Altuve and Brantley to follow. 1-0 Houston on the 2-out RBI double by Alvarez in the first.
He just needs a bloop. Something.
1 for 26 this postseason, 0 for 11 in this series. But so good behind the plate and working with the young right-hander Garcia. No chance of him not starting tonight.
And you got to have a great attitude to not let that affect your defense either, right? It doesn't bleed over. He knows his primary job is to carry the staff through the series. Obviously he wants to get hits, but he's not going to let the lack of hitting affect his game calling or catching.
Here's a 2-1 pitch from Eovaldi on the outside corner. 2-2. Eovaldi looking for his first strikeout. Here gets the ground out. Arroyo. And back to the top of the order, Altuve.
When he comes up, you just can't say anything. He's going to swing.
You have to get it in as he's walking up.
Yeah. This should be a different pitch than a fastball. He's thrown him 4 different pitches in 5 at bats leading off.
That's in the air to left center field. Will be handled by Hernandez. Altuve has had 2 at bats. He's 0 for 2. He's seen 2 pitches.
Wow. First one was a really kind of a bad ball off the plate that he made an out on. That one was more in his wheelhouse. And you know he's frustrated because that's when he usually does damage on it.
It'll bring in Brantley. Michael popped out to second his first time up. So far so good for Eovaldi.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a different approach. A little more cutters and fastballs and a little less splits. I think the splits will come after he's faced these guys maybe a time and a half through the lineup. And a split, a couple of them hung, got him in trouble in that relief.
He's just been so impressive in October while with the Boston Red Sox. Whatever Alex Cora has asked him to do, heck, whatever Eovaldi has asked Alex Cora to let him do, he's done, and he's done well. So resilient, his arm. 2 times it's undergone Tommy John surgery. But he is a horse. Brantley trying to figure out Eovaldi with an 0-2 count. That's foul.
And see, there was a split that hung. He's got to get extension on the split, which means you get out in front down. See how the grip right there, and it just pops out of his hand and floats. That's not a good one. The good one is when it starts down the middle and then takes a turn right, and you can't differentiate and you swing and miss. That one he will not get away with against this team.
Another 0-2. You just know that if the Red Sox win this game with a Game 7 tomorrow night, Eovaldi will tell Alex Cora, if you need me, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll tell him that, but for the sake of Eovaldi, that would be a tough ask for a manager.
Not a lot of experience at the back end of the bullpen for Boston. Big difference between the Red Sox and the Astros in this matchup. There's Sale down there. Nothing in 2 the count. Two out, bases empty. Eovaldi brings it and bounces it.
One of the worst experiences of my life in the postseason when I threw an olive branch out. Supposed to pitch Game 5, but we were down 3-0 against the Padres, thinking my manager would say no, we need you for Game 5. I said, you want me to go to the pen for Game 4? Because you never know. He goes, yeah, sure. But I got to tell you the backstory. I decided to go, for whatever reason, deep sea fishing on Game 3 and got so sick I threw up all day. So when I made that offer, I wasn't feeling real good. And every time the bell rang, I thought I was gonna I thought I was done.
You're unbelievable.
I never did get in that game, but it was an awful feeling when we showed the picture of those guys down there. You're kind of in an island by yourself. You're thinking of scenarios that you'll get in the game, but you're really kind of hoping that the game goes a standard way. Because when that bell rings and you're not used to it, it's awful.
1-2. High fly ball to right. Brantley was jammed. Renfroe takes care of out number 3. 4th inning rolls in. 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up. Starting with Rafael Devers for Boston, down 1.
To everybody that be living it up, we say.
The MLB postseason continues tomorrow. Game 6 of the NLCS. Dodgers and Braves, 5 Eastern on TBS. And if necessary, we'll be back here for the winner-take-all Game 7 of the ALCS on the air at 7:30 Eastern on Fox. Also being simulcast on FS1 and the Fox Sports app. Devers flied to center his first time. Takes a strike here. Eight career postseason home runs for Rafael Devers. He's 24 years old. 5 this postseason, takes high.
And lately, he just seems a little more uncontrolled. He seems under control. We've seen a lot of wild swings up, that forearm. Haven't seen it lately where he swings awkwardly and takes time after the swing.
Skies it on the infield. If it ever comes down, it'll be out number 1. Correa takes care of it. Think this guy's amped up tonight?
He is. And, you know, it's one thing to be amped up, but it's not really overthrowing. When you overthrow, you miss badly. He's amped up and pitching, which is a great combination in a game like tonight. And you know, sometimes a pitcher, it's easier to make adjustments when things don't go right against a team the second time around. And I think he's made the necessary adjustments, both mechanically and pitch selections.
Bogarts bounced out to third. His first time in, swings and misses, strike 1.
See, that pitch right there is so tight and on plane that's what has made his year why right-handers don't see the ball coming out of his hand. That's sweeping the plate and going under the barrel.
Right-handers do not like hitting against Garcia. 2 hops to Bregman. Bogarts 0 for 2. Right-handed batters this season hit 184 against Luis Garcia. That was the 4th best against right-handed hitters across baseball. And the rookie led all other rookies in strikeouts with 170. Here's JD Martinez with the bases empty, 2 out.
Well, each pitcher throws a little bit different than the other, and the spin, we always talk about spin rate. We got all these metrics and all these things to measure how a ball and its revolutions. But some guys have it, and that it is a tight little breaking ball that hitters cannot pick up. And the spin is so tight that if you saw it in slow motion, yeah, the circle of the seams are going to look sometimes a little bigger in slow motion. But when it's a dot, when the hitter tells you it's a dot and those seams come together and create a dot, you're not hitting it. You're not seeing it. The only way you hit it is if it's a mistake, and usually that's a bigger circle.
You know, you can say that. You can say you ain't hitting. It's okay.
Well,
it's okay.
Sometimes.
Garcia from Bolivar, Venezuela, signed July of 2017, came up last year in the COVID shortened season. Just missed inside. Good pitch to Martinez. Didn't get the call, ball 2, 2-1.
Great pitch after those breaking balls away. He locked him up. Either way, it was just at the mercy. JD Martinez was like, okay, that's a strike or a ball. There's nothing I can do about it. You froze me.
Oh. 2-2.
So he has both angles covered. He's going top to bottom with that pitch. And if you see the strike zone, he can go corner to corner. So top corner to bottom corner, and call it filleting that box with your angles that you can create.
Maldonado flashes the signs. Here comes a 2-2. Full count.
That one he did overthrow. Nobody did it better than Pedro Martinez. He had, first of all, he'd keep his fingers on the ball longer than anybody, and he had such spin and movement.
Garcia. First pitch of the inning is inside, ball 1 to Alex Bregman. Heart of the order for Houston, up by 1 in Game 6.
You know, I would think Bregman's going up there looking to see if he can time the fastball. The fastball's been getting in on him against Eovaldi.
Just caught the bottom of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Singled with 2 out and scored on the ball hit by Alvarez.
See, that's what I'm saying. I thought maybe he would make an effort. He's just thrown 2 great fastballs. And then we've talked about it all series. Bregman will not expand that area of the plate. He'll wait to 2 strikes, then fight a little bit. But he wants the inner third. That's his area.
2-2. This is the 1700th postseason game in MLB history and the 200th played in by the Red Sox. You see the line for Eovaldi. 1 run on a ball that could have been caught in center by Hernandez. Full count.
Well, you saw that line there with no strikeouts, and some people may go, well, how can a guy who throws 98, 99, 100 not have a high strikeout total? He throws a different style baseball than, let's say, his counterpart on the mound. He's more underneath it. He can create velocity. It stays as plain, and he throws a lot of strikes. So hitters are trying to get action because of his velocity.
Base hit right field. Good piece of hitting by Bregman. 2 for 2. For every RBI during the ALCS, Loan Depot donates $1,000 to the Boys and Girls Clubs of America. That's on top of the over $500,000 they've already donated this year. And because of Yordan Alvarez back in the first, cost Loan Depot $1,000.
Well, this guy has been locked in the last couple games. And I would look for a little change of repertoire here. I haven't seen him bust him in.
Vicious line drive for strike 1.
That's that split finger. First pitch, split finger. But at some point, got to tie him up inside with a fastball because he's been real comfortable out over the plate. That split finger actually cut. So
Dusty down at the end of the dugout, watching that one whistle by.
That's the pitch right there. If he goes up there again and a little bit more inside, he's not going to hit it. Now, the challenge is always trying to repeat it if he chooses to go back in that area.
Base hit the other way. Red hot as Alvarez. Digging for third. Bregman second and third. Nobody out.
And see, I said the hard part is repeating it. You watch where the sign and the location's going to be, but because he's so good out over the plate, there's nothing he fears. And he was trying to get that ball up and in, and he threw it up and away. And he's got such a simple swing, foot down, and he's not doing much. He's letting the power of the pitcher do the work for him. He would not have been able to get to the ball up and in, but the first real big mistake for Eovaldi, and location was the mistake, not the pitch.
Here comes Dave Bush to talk to Eovaldi, and just like with Sale, getting everybody else out in this Astros lineup except for Yordan Alvarez, who wore out Chris Sale, and he's 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles against Nathan Eovaldi.
Everybody wants to know, when you're working on short rest, what's the what is the problem with that? And the problem usually is location suffers. Your stuff will suffer over time, but you're going to give your effort and adrenaline, and that's going to be common. But it's when you need to make the pitch and when you need to focus on that location, That's where those little things show up when you're not rested and in your routine every 5 days.
Well, they talk about high leverage. This is as high as leverage can get. Down in the series, facing elimination, second and third, trailing in the ball game. Nobody out, Correa up, and the infield has to come in as they don't want to fall any further behind. Can Eovaldi get out of this? Can Correa add to the lead? Ball one.
That's such a good take, and it's a great pitch for Eovaldi because you're thinking the guy's going to be aggressive, and it looks like a fastball coming out of his hand. Where they've had success against Correa is fastballs up above the zone with velocity. Anything in the zone, he's hitting it.
One ball, one strike. Correa's only RBI in this LCS. That go-ahead home run in game one.
Game started out relatively easy for Eovaldi. They were swinging and getting a lot of quick outs. Now the stress level goes up. And the effort level, you could see he's trying to empty the tank here to get some strikeouts.
Good pitch. 2-2.
Didn't throw a lot of splits early. Mentioned he would probably be saving it for the second time through, and he's thrown a lot of splits here to Correa.
Opponents at 176 against Eovaldi's split during the regular and postseason.
Inside.
Full count.
He tried to front door a cutter, which means he's going to start that in and have it catch the plate.
Struck him out. One down as Correa chased it.
It's the first time I've seen one of the hitters on either team try to do too much, meaning pass the baton on to the next guy. That was a situation where he wanted to hit more than he wanted to take the base, and he knew it. What a pitch.
Second and third, one out. With Kyle Tucker about to dig in
and about to swing at the first pitch. There's a reason all his at-bats last only 3.5 pitches per plate appearance.
Infield still way in. Strike one.
If you're sitting at home and you're going, why in the world can he not hit a ground ball to shortstop? Well, it's kind of statistically driven where all of the balls that he hits on the ground are where the shift is, and they would be playing, of course, way back if the infield wasn't in.
Lead runner is Bregman. Jammed him. Strike two. High leverage, high stress. And as you said, Eovaldi's got to just empty the tank.
He's burning up 2 innings of work right here, and they don't care. If he can get out of this inning, it shortens his outing 100%. But you know that he's approaching this like a 9th inning, because there's not going to be given many more innings after an inning like this with the workload that he's putting in.
One ball, 2 strikes.
I mean, this at bat is the ball game for him in Boston, because if he can get him out, he'll walk Gurriel and pitch to McCormick.
Tucker strikes out on a pitch in the dirt. The put out at first, 2 down.
That's a wow factor right now. When you think about it, he just made one of his worst pitches to Alvarez and then came back and struck out 2 tough hitters and saved one of his best curveballs for Tucker. And there's no way you can pitch to Gurriel.
And they're going to put him on. Started the night hitting .474 in this ALCS, and he draws the walk.
In a situation like this, when you're putting together your 2 out, bases loaded, and you know there's not room for another base runner, the guy at the plate hasn't shown that he wants to walk or is willing to walk. So you don't have to. Normally when the bases are loaded, you got stress left and right. But if you know you don't have to throw 3 strikes, your stress goes down. And with a young player like McCormick, he wants to hit more than he wants to recognize the pitch in the strike zone.
So you say pressure on McCormick?
Yeah. Because the stuff that Eovaldi has doesn't, he doesn't have to throw strike even on this pitch.
But he does at 96. Boy, this would be enormous by Nathan Eovaldi, and just remarkable to get through this after a single, a double, second and third, nobody out. He got Correa, got Tucker, the walk to Gurriel, the 0-1 to McCormick.
I mean, this seriously could change the entire series, and you're hoping it does if you're Boston. You get out of this with nothing. You felt like you scored 3 runs because you just know your offense is going to get on track. But if they were down 3 or 4 going into the 5th inning, that's a deflating blow.
Strike 2.
See, McCormick has too big of a swing against a power guy like Eovaldi. I mean, he's looking for a mistake. This is a big swing right here. And that's just hard to catch up to that.
Go back to that?
Yes. I mean, the fear is if you throw a breaking ball, you get into his bat speed unless it's off the plate.
Struck out the side. Wow. The Alvin, Texas native gets into out of trouble and makes a sold-out stadium awfully quiet in Houston. The 3 guys Nathan Eovaldi just struck out. You got Correa second and third for the first out. You got Tucker for the second out. And you got McCormick with the bases loaded for the third out. And now it flips to the other side. And Luis Garcia with the bottom part of the lineup can't let Boston ride some of that momentum they just picked up and do some damage on the scoreboard.
That's absolutely right. He knows it. You don't want to give any more of momentum that they already gained in that top half.
Hard hit, 1 out. Right at Bregman. Way off the line, and let's check in with Kenny Rosenthal.
Well, Joe, you remember through Game 3 of this series, the Red Sox had 10 or more hits in 6 straight games. They scored 20 runs in Games 2 and 3, took a 2-1 lead in Game 4. Since then, 1 run in 21 innings, only 7 hits, none tonight. Shocking turnaround.
And you see what's happened over their last 42 at bats, just 3 hits and .071 average. Credit to the Houston pitchers as that misses down and away, and a lot of that either Framber Valdez or the bullpen work leading into tonight. But tonight it's Luis Garcia who has not allowed a hit through 4 1/3.
I'm telling you, that bullpen gave Framber a chance to not pitch for his life, right? I mean, it's 2-2 versus 3-1. That bullpen effort was phenomenal.
Bat goes flying into the net out of the hands of Arroyo. I don't think Arroyo is going to get that bat back. They brought him a new one, and Arroyo says keep it.
Well, they say throw your hands when you're a hitter. He threw his hands, but the bat went.
New bat. 1 out, bases empty. Arroyo popped up his first time. The stuff is just filthy tonight for Garcia.
Yeah, we've already documented the unique windup that he has. He goes side to side, but if you don't stay over the rubber and balance, you can't throw these balls on line. And he's really done it. I counted 3 pitches where he's an over-the-top fastball and over-the-top slider. I only count 3 pitches where he's really tried to throw it as hard as he could and pulled them out of the zone. He's got a new
strikeout number 5. 2 out. We came on talking about the teeter-totter seesaw in this series with momentum and the way it's gone, with Boston just dominating games 2 and 3, looking like they just could not be slowed down. Astros get back on top with games 4 and 5, and then the bounce back for those 2 starters, Framber Valdez and Luis Garcia. I mean, night and day.
Yeah, he's dancing to a different tune today.
Renfroe strike 1.
And he's in rhythm, and Dusty's going to ride that rhythm as long as he doesn't see anything change.
There was talk about Garcia during the division series and the innings, and it's the most innings he's ever pitched as a professional. That's a strike. And Dusty Baker said he's on a performance count. If he's performing, we'll let him pitch.
Yeah.
And he's performing. Ball 1. Renfroe now 1 for 15 in this ALCS. And Garcia wants a new baseball. The Red Sox get that big lift with Eovaldi in the bottom of the 4th, and now here in the top of the 5th, Luis Garcia trying to take it right back. And he does. Outstanding by the rookie right-hander. What a game. Win on the road with T-Mobile, the leader in 5G coverage. Enter to win your very own RV and tickets to every MLB ballpark next season by texting road trip to 59595996 to Martin Maldonado, strike 1.
Got to watch this inning if you're Alex Cora, because he expended so much energy the last inning. If he gets through this inning, I almost think that would be as much as you could ask out of him.
Fastball fouled back. 98. That's as hard as he's thrown all night.
Yeah, the stuff won't, like the radar and the gun, as you look at the two pitchers, that's not going to diminish, but the late life and the lack of throwing the ball where you want to, that's what's going to suffer. He can overpower his fastball at any time.
Well, he didn't have any strikeouts in the ball game. Economical through the first 3. He gets second and third, nobody out last inning. He strikes out the side, so his first 3 strikeouts. And going into that inning, he had 1 swing and miss all night, and in the 4th inning alone, he had 5.
Yeah. Well, he just turned it up.
There's a base hit for Maldonado. Hanging pitch, and Martinez got his first hit of the ALCS.
See, this is what I was talking about as Altuve comes to the plate here. The first pitch that we've seen every at bat, it's something a little bit different. These are the ones leading up into this game. In this game, he saw 2 fastballs, one way off the plate, one in the zone. Here's the one off the plate that he swung at. First pitch of the game, can't believe it. And then here's the one that right in nitro zone that he missed.
This first pitch he takes and it misses outside ball 1.
Yeah, this is on a higher, riskier level. This is your horse, okay? But you can't let him get into too much trouble in this inning after what he did in the last inning. And it's a tough decision for Alex Cora.
Obviously, once he's gone, he's gone. And then you're diving into that bullpen. There is action for Boston in their pen. Ottavino is the right-hander, and the left-hander is Josh Taylor.
He just won't face Alvarez, right? And he may not face Brantley.
On the outside corner, strike 2. Just got a piece.
But he hits into a double play and might change it. You have that inning to boot, and it was a quick bottom half. Like, he didn't have much time in between. He's right back out there again, going through the heart of the order.
Plucked out of the dirt by Plawecki. 2-2. Struck him out.
Wow, very uncharacteristic of Altuve. That was a cutter that just took off out of his hands. That might be it. What a job. Look at that cutting action. Just kept running away from the bat.
Alex Cora out to talk, and that's going to be all for Eovaldi.
What a job, though.
Kept his team in it. Still 1-0 as he exits here in the bottom of the 5th of Game 6. he did so impressive. 4 strikeouts. None bigger than his first 3.
Unbelievable. All out of the zone, all nasty pitches. And you can make the argument he really shouldn't have any given up any runs. Tough play in center field, but here's the last one, and he gave every inch that he had and kept his team right there. And now it's up to the bullpen of the Red Sox. And look for Brantley, who against left-handers seems to want to jump on that first pitch. He did it twice in Boston. Different reliever, though, wasn't Taylor.
That's who it is here. Josh Taylor. After Eovaldi exits, ground ball. Schwarber throws wide, and they get the out, but no double play. Out at second, safe at first is Brantley, 2 out. And Schwarber still relatively new to first base, and that has shown itself here a couple times over the last 2 games.
Well, first of all, the play at second base by Devers, this is incredible. He throws the ball down, and he's got to go get it, which he does. And in the old days, that would have been an ugly slide in, but you can't do that anymore. Look at this athletic play. I mean, gets the bag and then has the presence once he gets the ball to think, okay, all right, I could still make the throw possibly. And then a little collision at first.
Taylor made double play ball. The Red Sox can't turn it. They get the force out at second. And the batter is Bregman. 2 for 2 against Eovaldi. Takes a strike. 28-year-old left-hander. First year where he started on the opening day roster and lasted the entire season in his career. What a spot for him as he misses outside, a ball and a strike on Bregman.
Yeah, he's gotten nastier. The only time he gets in a little bit of trouble maybe during the year is when he's losing that command. He's got funky mechanics, but he gets after it. And he'll be in at least to face Alvarez, even if he gets Bregman this inning to end the inning.
One pitch. Red Sox in the 6th inning will have Plawecki, the number 9 hitter, then back to Schwarber and Hernandez. Eovaldi telling war stories in the dugout while everybody watches Josh Taylor. The 1-2. You
get the feeling, I mean, you'd rather be ahead 1-0 if you're Boston, but you're only down 1-0 and the opposing pitcher's throwing a gem. So you're right where you want to be. Even though you're down, you're right where you want to be. Turn the lineup over, because in a game where you're facing elimination, you don't want to have to be down 4 or 5. And you'll take your chances with this offense, no matter who the Astros throw, if you can get unlocked.
2-2. Should end the inning. Bogarts the short way. Nice job by Josh Taylor. And we're through 5 innings in Game 6. A run in the first for Houston. That is it for the night. Up 1-0. Luis Garcia has been in total command. Has yet to allow a hit. He has struck out 6, walked 1. Faces a pinch hitter, Danny Santana, the switch hitter, to start the 6th inning, and misses with ball 1.
And I actually think, you know, we'd never say this in a regular season, but I actually think right now Dusty's going batter to batter with him. He got action in the pen. He's given you an unbelievable start. And I think he's just going to see how many more outs he can steal.
Gets a strike there. beauty of baseball when you see a young man like, as Maton gets loose, Garcia get locked in and step up on the big stage and do what he's doing here tonight. 95 past the bat of Santana.
Because what your eyes are telling you, there'd be no reason to even have anybody up. But it's a game 6. It's 1-0. He's been dealing with and has dealt with. You mentioned a lot of innings and the knee, but right now, his stuff is pretty good.
1-2 pitch. Dusty Baker's been in this situation before as a manager. Home up 3-2 in an LCS. Comes a 2-2 pitch. A strikeout starts the inning, number 7 for Garcia. Santana totally fooled.
Change up, just filthy, disappearing on the outside part of the plate. You can see him kind of wave at it and hope to just foul it off. He is over the top and on line. That's what you want to be as a pitcher. If you're going to give up hits, it's because it's a good pitch.
Ball 1 is Schwarber. Dusty Baker was managing the 0-3 Chicago Cubs when they came home up in that series. Great pitching lined up. Wood and Pryor. The loss to the Florida Marlins. Plenty to talk about in game 6. Lost game 7. He's managed only in 1 World Series. That was his Giants team the year before. They lost in 7 to the Angels. 1 ball, 1 strike from Garcia to Schwarber, who was struck out twice.
I'm sure if we had time to put it together, every single pitch he's thrown tonight, you won't find 4 of them in the middle of the zone. That's how good he has pitched against a great offensive team.
Schwarber pops it into left, pretty well hit, back near the wall, 2 out. Brantley puts it away.
Those are slugging numbers. Those are not batting average. That's just what happens 3rd time through.
Brings in Kike Hernandez. First 3 games, 8 for 13, 3 home runs. 1 for his last 12. Although he was robbed back in the first inning on a diving play by Jose Altuve to his right, which was a big defensive play with a runner on, nobody out, for the first out of the ball game. Here comes a 1-0. Hernandez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I mean, to do what he's doing with all the different movements that he has. Think about how many times this has to be accurate. The arms, the glove, the back and forth. Boy, he's been perfect in the pitch count.
Two and 1.
See, I want you to watch again how unique this is. He's going to rock the baby first, Joe. He rocks the baby,
okay,
and then he goes into the salsa. Okay, so He gets there. He gets his pitch, and then everything he does. And he'll rock the baby, and go into the salsa.
2-1 pitch. Skips in there.
Does the baby like the salsa?
I think so. I think when it's too violent, obviously he's not rocking the baby.
Yeah.
But everything is in tempo for him. And right now, man, you talk about two Astros coming up big. Pitchers. That man.
Fromber and Luis. And a 3-1 pitch from Garcia. Full count.
When you're up 3-2 and it's tight like it is right now, it's a hard game to manage for Dusty Baker. And you would say, well, why would it be a hard game? You're up 3-2. Well, your resources that you're looking to put out there, it would have to work to eliminate it. Because if it doesn't, then you need those same resources in Game 7. It's actually an easier game to manage for Alex Cora because he doesn't have choices. He's going to use every leverage pitcher to get to a Game 7.
3-2. High fly ball to left center field. Back at the wall. It's off the wall. Digging for second and now heading for third. Kike Hernandez in the tying run 90 feet away with 2 out. Kike hit that ball a long way, but hit one of those columns out in left center field and hit below the yellow line for the triple.
Here's the uniqueness of this stadium. That ball's pulled. That's way gone. But that ball wasn't pulled quite as much. And that ball hits underneath the line. Stays in the park. Turns into a triple.
And becomes the first hit against Garcia. And he exits. What a night. So far, no runs. Responsible for the man on after giving up his first hit of the night. Struck out 7, walked 1. And gives way to the right-hander who started the season in Cleveland. Traded to Houston in July, Phil Maton. With Devers coming up. Tying run at third.
This has more to do with who's behind Devers than bringing in a left-hander to just face Devers and hoping that that left-hander gets him out. With the new rules, you've got to either finish the inning or face 3 hitters.
Devers skies one on the infield. Correa says he's got it. That ends the top of the 6th. Maton does finish the inning with 1 pitch. Still 1-0 Houston. 21 American League Championship Series presented by Loan Depot. What a game Game 6 is here in Houston. And Yordan Alvarez, the hottest hitter on the planet right now, deals with the lefty Josh Taylor. Down for ball 1.
That'll be his only batter, really. To finish off what Garcia did, unbelievable. His cutter, if you want to call it that, I call it a really good slider. His cutter had 11 whiffs on it, most in any game in his career. 12 swings. That's just an impressive job.
Taylor did a nice job for Boston coming in last inning with 1 on 1 out. Got Brantley on the force out at second and Bregman on another force out. Yordan Alvarez the last 3 games. Games 4, 5, and 6. 7 for 11, 3 doubles, a home run, 5 RBIs. with Houck and Ottavino getting ready. That has hit a ton, but foul. Oh, my. Where's that? That hit one of the girders up there under the roof and was headed for that Michelob Ultra stand up in right field.
Wow.
Jordan waits. Takes ball 2. Ball 3.
His ability to track and be patient. He's a big guy, but he uses his hands. And rarely you see him swing just so big that he has no chance to make contact. He's tracking it right now.
That's down the right field line. Another hit into the corner. Alvarez digs for 2. He's thinking, he's going. Leadoff triple.
Well, he needed a triple in Boston for the cycle. He's hit for the cycle in the series.
For a guy that had surgery on both knees, only 2 games last year, he gets Josh Taylor. Lefties, righties, doesn't matter. 8 for his last 12. And on third with nobody out. Making him clap really all series, but recently, last 3 games, 8 for 12, a home run, 3 doubles, a triple, and 5 RBIs. I mean, he's just beyond right now.
He is. He's been unbelievable. But I don't think the Astros can win if they come up empty again in this inning. They've got to do a better job of driving in this run. It starts with Correa. If you're the Red Sox, don't try to pitch an immaculate scenario here. You can give up 1. You just can't let this inning get big on you, and that's what Houck's trying to do.
Runner at third, and a breaking ball has Correa spinning out of there, ball 1. Carlos struck out with second and third, nobody out his last time. Still sitting on that 1 RBI, the home run from game 1. Houck is ready. Same pitch, 2-0.
Lost him up. Well, with Alvarez at third, it truly is going to take a base hit or a fly ball. Anything in the infield or high chopper. Vasquez in the game now. So Correa's looking for a ball in the middle of the plate that he can lift and make it easier for Alvarez to score.
Count in Correa's favor. 2 balls, no strikes. Good pitch there. Caught the inside corner. Here comes a 2-1 pitch from Tanner Houck. That caught him on the arm to send runners to the corners with nobody out.
And this is what you're afraid of if you're Alex Cora. You don't want this inning to get big. It's too late. Oh, they're catching right on the elbow. Maybe we'll get feeling for a little bit. 2 runs is nothing for your offense, even though you haven't done much tonight. And again, they're going to play the infield in what is probably one of the toughest shifts of an infield being in, and they're going to have to discuss this strategy because depending on how they play it, Joe, Correa could walk to second.
So a meeting on the mound as Dave Bush comes out. First and third, nobody out, and we'll give you a quick word from Lone Depot.
The home smells like citrus.
Our home smells a lot like fresh cut flowers.
It's just that feeling of coming in and you're like, I'm home.
Just the second triple in the career of Yordan Alvarez, first during the postseason. Chased Josh Taylor. He was coming out anyway with the right-handed hitting Correa coming up. Correa hit by the pitch, and boy, that took a piece out of Carlos. The right elbow. First and third, nobody out, and Kyle Tucker deals with Houck. Ball 1 outside.
If there was ever a time for Kyle Tucker to stay on the ball and think center to left center, there's no way to defend it. They've got him played to pull, of course, in the shift. Schwarber has to stay on the base to keep Correa close.
1-0 from Houck. 1 ball, 1 strike. '24th overall pick in 2017. And now in the toughest spot in his career, Tanner Houck.
It's almost impossible to turn a double play unless this ball was hit at Bogarts, because they're going to want to cut down the run, and they just don't have a real easy way of turning 2 based on the shift.
Second time appearing in this ALCS for Houck. The 25-year-old is ready in a 2-1 pitch. 3-1.
Oh, that was a great pitch, but where they were set up, that probably is why he didn't get the call. Really good changeup right there. Just pulled it in the inside corner.
Tucker on 3-1. Hits it hard. Scooped up by Schwarber. Run comes to the plate. Safe. It's 2-0. It's a double play at first as the runner Correa was tagged. Schwarber stepped on the bag. He got 2. The Astros get the run and double their lead, and the bases are empty with 2 down.
I know Schwarber's a little bummed, but he actually got the double play in an unbelievable way, right? There's no way, for not playing first base, you can react quick enough. All he's got to do is tag there and go there, and he comes home. But a great heads-up base running on Alvarez. This ate him up and found the glove. And at that point, Correa, he doesn't know if that ball's not caught in the air.
There's the double play right there, and the throw home late. Alvarez scored. And now ball 1 to Yuli Gurriel.
But I'm telling you, I know you never want to give up a run, but this is huge for Boston. They keep what could have been a huge inning to 2 runs and have a chance still in this game with a couple swings of the plate.
1-0 pitch. 2-0. Well, you think infield in, they're going to try to cut down the runner at the plate. That ball really well handled by Schwarber on that short hop.
It's just in the moment, if you haven't pre-thought what you're going to do, if it hits to you, there's no way to kind of know that that play is going to happen.
Good pitch by Houck. 2-1.
And the runner at third has to go. He has to throw. He can't just, once he sees it skip, right? And at that point, now he's got Correa trapped. But heads up base running.
Yordan Alvarez doing everything right.
That's what he's got to do. He's got to force the throw, and he beat the throw.
And his first career postseason triple leads directly to that run. And now a 3-1 pitch from Houck is in for a strike at 96 to Gurriel. 2-0 game here in the 6th inning of Game 6. Couple of hops. Arroyo backs up. Bad throw and out at first as Schwarber digs it out. But Alvarez tripled and scored. Time running out for the Boston Red Sox. Down in the series, down in Game 6. 2-0 after 6.
Knocking down the door, and brick by brick we take this house, ain't wasting time no more, 'cause you will be
in RBIs.
Well, we can answer that. 3 guys with 12. Chris Taylor, who had that gigantic game for the Dodgers to get that series in the NLCS back to Atlanta. Rafael Devers has 12. Chris Taylor has 12. And Kyle Tucker has 12. Tucker does not get an RBI, but he did put the ball in play on that ground ball to the right side in the bottom of the 6th that scored Alvarez. It was a double play ball, made it 2-0, and that's where we are as Kendall Graveman takes over and deals with Bogarts. That's outside, a ball and a strike.
Well, the theme for Boston's been the same. You're going to find out a lot about this team here in the next 3 innings. They've been up against it all year. They've delivered under the gun. And they're in a tough spot here with a really good bullpen for the Astros. They got to find a way to get a leadoff hitter on.
Good pitch there at the bottom of the zone. Strike 2. Graveman got the win in Game 4 with 2 impressive innings at Fenway Park. No hits, 2 strikeouts, 1 walk, no runs. Another in-season pickup. A check swing didn't go. 2-2.
I mean, this series has been so unpredictable. It's been filled with runs. There's only been really a couple close, low-scoring games going into the 8th, and it was the game that the Astros blew open in the 9th. But to predict this kind of gem and hold the Red Sox to 1 hit.
Still 2-2 on Bogarts, 0 for 2. JD Martinez, Alex Verdugo will follow, with Houston leading 2-0. James Click, the GM for the Astros, went for it, adding to this bullpen in season. Maton got him from Cleveland. He got out of the top of the 6th. Graveman he got from Seattle. He's trying to protect a 2-run lead now in the 7th.
Yeah, the Graveman move was gutsy and it worked. And It worked in the sense that it really deepened that bullpen. They gave up a good young player. And of course, Seattle was stung by it at the time. And for the Astros, they know that 7, 8, 9 is in their wheelhouse based on their bullpen.
Abraham Toro, a young player, going the other way with Joe Smith to get Graveman. And here he is, dealing with the heart of the Red Sox lineup in Game 6. Struck him out looking one away.
Well, for an Astros team in the middle of this series, games 2 and 3, they didn't make a lot of good pitches, and I'll tell you, they paid for them. But so far tonight, they have made so many quality pitches. And what we talked about leading into Framber's start is the Astros were not able to put away a lot of Boston hitters once they got to 2 strikes. Well, they've made that adjustment, and they've gotten ahead, stayed ahead, and made a lot of quality pitches.
JD Martinez now takes a strike. Coming into the game, the Fox Bet Sportsbook app had JD Martinez at plus 350 to hit a home run tonight. It's 3.5 to 1 odds, and tonight he has struck out twice. That was against Luis Garcia. Garcia didn't give up a hit through 5 2/3. Gave up the 2-out triple to Kike Hernandez. Maton took over through 1 pitch, got Devers on a pop-up. What a job. 1-1. Let's go to Tom Verducci.
Yeah, that move on Maton on Devers was something Dusty Baker wanted even before this series began. The Astros this year have thrown Devers 194 pitches. 179 of those have been fastballs. Maton, even though it's just 91-92, 3rd highest swing rate on that high fastball. The move Dusty wanted, he got with the result he wanted.
Well, I'll give him this. It will be viewed by some as a gutsy move, and it paid off because it was only 1-0 at that time. And typically, I say typically, you bring in a left-hander to face Devers, but he went with Maton first pitch, got him popped up.
That's outside. Martinez checked it. 2-2. Full count now.
Graveman pitches off the first base side of the rubber, and the reason he does that is for his fastball has such late movement. But to throw the breaking ball on that side, he's got to be more precise because he's throwing it in to break away against the left-hander. But what makes him special with that 96 to 98 mile-an-hour fastball, late movement, plays, and hard to hit.
That is ball 4. Martinez takes the walk. 1 on, 1 out here in the 7th.
Here's that late movement, but it was around the plate. It was quick and to the spot, but just off the plate. JD did not expand the zone.
And a meeting on the mound Sunday on Fox. We look ahead to the matchups coming your way as Week 7 continues. Chase Young and the Washington football team against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers on a 5-game winning streak or other regional action. Check local listings for the game in your area only on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Look at the last 3 games. You compare the Red Sox lineup to Yordan Alvarez alone. Red Sox have 1 more hit than Yordan.
Well,
here's Alex Verdugo.
Tying run at the plate. That's how important that last inning was. It didn't get away from the Red Sox.
Ball 1 to Verdugo. Arroyo would be the next hitter, and Travis Shaw has come into the on-deck circle. Bullpen quiet for Houston. That is over the head of Gurriel and into right. Martinez will dig for third. Verdugo holds with a base hit. First and third, 1 out here in the 7th.
This is what they do. Boston, even in a high chopper right there. Ball beat into the ground, but over Gurriel.
And the pitching coach, Brent Stroms, are going to come up and talk with Graveman, with Travis Shaw announces the pinch hitter.
Need a 7th inning stretch? Hey Siri, tell me more about Apple Fitness Plus.
Boston will be down to just 1 hitter left on the bench, Bobby Dalbec, as they use Shaw here in the 7th. Tying run at first. Runner across the way at third. 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Travis Shaw, whose career has come back around to the Red Sox after being cut loose by Milwaukee.
Pretty good low in the zone hitter. You saw the numbers. Still has some power.
Chased it. Strike 1.
And that's where you get him out. Fastballs up, change-ups.
First and third, 1 out. Graveman misses. Shaw's had some big power years. 31 home runs in 2017, 32 the next year, both in Milwaukee. With the Blue Jays, back to Milwaukee, cut loose, back to Boston, which is where it started for him. Got to the big leagues in 2015 with the Red Sox. 1-1 pitch. Three balls and a strike.
So Graveman got out of his normal. He likes to throw the ball down. That's what makes him so great. And I'm trying to pitch it up is getting out of his mechanics a little bit, trying to go to the spot of the weakness, which you can't blame him. But he's much better when he stays down through the ball with that late movement down in the zone.
So Dahlbeck on deck with Renfro's spot coming up. Raley and Stanek getting loose for Houston. Graveman on the mound. Steps off. Maldonado out to talk yet again. Get your game on at MLBshop.com. Authentic on-field caps, tees, hoodies, and more. Get all your postseason gear and wear what the champs wear at the official source, MLBshop.com.
Both these teams have the same DNA. And what I mean by that is both teams grind and got a little chip on their shoulders for different reasons. And so you expect this out of Boston. You knew they were going to make their push and put their rally. They just got to cash in.
Now the 3-1. Full count.
What a great pitch. 3-1 changeup. Now you put all the doubt in the mind of Shaw.
Verdugo able to get back. The Red Sox with 1 run in their last 23 innings. Coming into this 7th, a walk to Martinez, a well-placed single by Verdugo. Opportunity for Travis Shaw. Runner going, struck him out, throw down, got him, double play, and the inning is over. That's why Maldonado is in the lineup. Strike him out, throw him out, inning over. Time to stretch, but they're already doing that here in Houston. What a moment that was for the Astros to end the top of this 7th inning and end that threat. And the guy who made it happen, Martin Maldonado, will bat second here in the 7th. Chas McCormick with all kinds of defensive changes. We'll give those to you after the pinch hitter Travis Shaw enters the ball game. Everybody had to move around. Houck, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now Schwarber goes from first to left. Verdugo from left to center. Kike Hernandez center to second base, and Travis Shaw stays in the game. He's at first.
Baseball is a game of inches. We're going to show you why. And paying attention to the details can cost you or can be the execution. So he just dove back. All right. He just dove back. He's on the base. Look, the pitcher's ready to pitch. This is not a lead when you're trying to go. And you got to bank that your hitter may not make contact. And that difference right there, just not being ready, is how you get thrown out. His lead was not big enough. Even if it was a walking lead, he was too late getting to his spot, and the pitch was thrown. And what a job by Maldonado.
Yeah, what a throw. Right on his leg, going to the bag. That's a ball to make it 2-2 on McCormick, who's 0 for 2. Last few days we've talked to Dusty Baker about why are you sticking with Maldonado with no hits. Defense the priority. And then nice to have him behind the plate with a young Luis Garcia on the mound tonight. Maldonado also has his first hit. McCormick floats one to Bogarts. One down in the 7th. That'll bring in Maldonado.
There hasn't been a ton of scoring opportunities, but that was a must cash in for Boston, even if they got one.
Kendall Graveman battled back from a 3-1 count, got the strikeout of Shaw at the front end of that double play. Strike one on Maldonado.
More than likely, if they go according to script, you got Stanek and then Presley for the Astros.
Stanek is the one that's up still in the bullpen for Houston. This young right-hander getting a lot of seasoning here in this postseason as they look ahead. Got somebody that they can count on for their rotation going forward, possibly. 1-1 in for strike two.
I'm gonna tell you something. Boston's going nowhere, regardless of what happens in this series. They're set up with what you mentioned: him as a starter, Sale as a starter, Evaldi as a starter, possibly Pivetta, and they're in a good spot. This is not just that 1 year surprise everybody.
Don't forget about Garrett Whitlock.
Garrett Whitlock in the end of the bullpen. I mean, this year has been one of the greatest years you could ask, and they don't want to have that story end. They want it to continue. And so 2 more at bats to see if this magical year can continue for the Red Sox.
Maldonado waits for a 1-2 pitch from Tanner Houck. Struck him out, 2 down. Easily our Hyundai lift to the game is what we saw moments ago. Shaw strikes out Maldonado with a perfect throw right on the left leg of Alex Verdugo for the strike him out, throw him out double play to end the top of this 7th.
I just tell you, the 3-1 pitch set that up for me. To throw a 3-1 changeup to Shaw, who's coming in pinch hitting, and then to throw the 3-2 pitch.
Altuve now with 2 out. Takes the ball.
That's your typical ALCS for Jose Altuve. Normally shines.
He's got just 3 hits. 2 of them have left the park. 3 for 23.
It just looks like to me he's in between. We talked about it. Tom talked about the stride factor, but to me he has really gone up. He's always been an aggressive hitter, but he's set the tone for himself in a lot of these games by swinging at first pitches and making quick outs, and then later in the game seeing more pitches.
Two and 1. Again, the Red Sox, with all that hitting through the first 3 games, they've scored 1 run in their last 24 innings.
That's amazing.
Two-one pitch from Houck. Grounded foul. This kid hasn't flinched. Tanner Houck.
No.
There the run scored. One in game 5. None in game 6. In game 4, the 2 runs came in the first inning. Two. Fly ball into center. Verdugo hauls it in. And a 1-2-3 inning for the 25-year-old Tanner Houck. 8th inning now rolls in Houston. Game 6. Astros up 2. American League Championship Series presented by Loan Depot. Houston, Texas. Home of the Astros. They won the West 5 games better than Seattle at 95-67. Took care of the White Sox in the division series and now lead 3-2 over the Red Sox and lead here in the 8th inning of game 6. 2-0 as Ryan Stanek deals and Bobby Dahlbeck off the bench to bat for Renfroe. Fouls the first pitch back, strike 1.
Yeah, that's a healthy cut. 98 miles an hour. He can rush it up there. Throws a lot of split finger fastballs. It's kind of his signature pitch.
Dahlbeck, then Vasquez, then Schwarber. High heat. Just Dahlbeck's second at bat of this ALCS.
Tough spot for Dahlbeck. I know he's got a cage down there. He can take some swings, but it's a lot different coming into the 8th down 2-0 facing 97-98. You don't get that in your cage work.
First full year in the big leagues, hit 25 home runs and takes up and away ball 1. Still looking for his first hit of the postseason. Skies one into center. McCormick has it, 1 down. And the batter will be Vasquez. Predict which players will stack the most total bases each day during the postseason and compete to win $20,000. Enter MLB Base Chase presented by Michelob Ultra at MLB.com/Base Chase. See official rules for details. First at bat now for Vasquez. Wawecki was the starter, lifted for the pinch hitter Santana in the 6th. 3 for 14 in this ALCS is Christian.
Man of the hour right now. The other man of the hour.
Meanwhile, Boston Red Sox need 1 base runner the rest of the way to guarantee JD Martinez another at bat. Strike 2 on Vasquez. Presley's already up. We're in the 8th. 2-run game. 0-2 is outside. Stanek has worked in every game except one. Didn't get into game 4 at Fenway. Otherwise, he has been busy.
He threw one really good split. He got a swing and miss. He hung one, and then he went to the fastball to reset.
Will play on the right side for Gurriel. 2 down. And back to the top of the order for Boston and Kyle Schwarber. Yordan Alvarez will bat for Houston in the bottom of this 8th.
The split will be trouble for Schwarber unless he hangs it. The split is one of those pitches, no different than a version of a slider. Schwarber's wanting to lift the ball.
Takes a strike. Strike 2.
So this next one a little lower. That's what he's going to try to do. Now you can throw a high fastball.
Schwarber, who has hit either first or second in this series for Boston, 0 for 3 tonight, 3 for 24 in this series. With a grand slam in game 3 to account for all 4 of his RBIs.
Great pitch. There's the splitter, and it just takes a turn on the outside.
Schwarber trying to keep the top of the 8th inning alive. Almost walked right into it. 2-2. just missed again. It's a full count. Schwarber was at the mercy of the home plate umpire Jim Wolf, and he lives to see another pitch.
Been a good zone tonight. He's had a good zone.
On the infield, Correa, inning over. Bottom of the 8th inning rolls in. Astros will bat, leading game 6, 2-0. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Houston. They lead by 2. Trying to stamp their ticket for their 3rd World Series in the last 5 years here tonight. Now Kike Hernandez back to center. Bobby Dalbec, who pinch hit, is at second, and Verdugo has played all 3 defensive positions in the outfield. Brantley 0 for 3. Dealing with Tanner Houck, in the count 2-0. Into center field, a base hit. Leadoff man is on here in the 8th inning for Houston. Postseason continues tomorrow, game 6 of the NLCS between the Dodgers and the Braves in Atlanta at 5 Eastern on CBS. If necessary, we would be back here for the winner-take-all game 7 of the ALCS. Tomorrow night, we'll be on the air at 7:30 Eastern on Fox. If this series is over, that game between the Dodgers and the Braves will move to later in the night, 8 Eastern. Bregman now. Strike 1 on the inside corner. There's news coming out of that series, the NLCS. We'll get that from Ken Rosenthal here after the next pitch to Bregman, who's 2 for 3. Kenny?
Joe, Los Angeles Times and other outlets reporting that Max Scherzer will not start game 6 tomorrow for the Dodgers. He's experiencing general arm fatigue. It's been an issue ever since that emotional save in game 5 of the division series. The Dodgers have not announced who will start, but this obviously is a blow. Scherzer and Buehler were lined up for game 6 and 7. And remember, since the final weekend of the regular season, the Dodgers have lost Max Muncy, Justin Turner, Joe Kelly, and now Scherzer questionable for the rest of this series.
And the Braves lead that 3 games to 2.
I believe David Price fills the spot for Joe Kelly, so would he factor?
1-2 the count. Big hole on the right side as Bregman chops it foul. The Red Sox in the 9th inning will have Kike Hernandez, Rafael Devers, and Xander Bogaerts. If anybody gets on, JD Martinez, with Ryan Presley getting loose. for Houston out in their bullpen. Bregman is jammed and pops it up. One down. And that will bring in the hitting hero for the Astros, Yordan Alvarez. Here are his swings tonight with 3 extra base hits.
He's been amazing. He gets that foot down and the bat path stays pretty similar. That one he pulled. That one he went the other way. And this one he surprised everybody by pulling down the line for a triple.
Well, 1. You can look at Alvarez at the plate. The starting pitching of Framber Valdez and Luis Garcia over the last 2 games. And now over the last 3 games, the Astros bullpen has pitched 11 innings, not allowed a run.
Amazing.
That's how they're taking control of this series. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I asked Dusty Baker, I mean, give me something about this guy. He seems so cool and calm, and he doesn't look like he's afraid of anything or flashy. He goes, oh, trust me, he doesn't want to make outs. He doesn't say much, but he is a cool customer.
Strike 2. Houck getting valuable outs for Boston. Another hit.
He's just so short and to the ball for a big guy in a league filled of strikeouts and homers. We're watching a guy just go right to the ball. Ball up, right to it. No wasted movement. Gets the foot down, watch the hands stay right there, and then everything almost seems like it's in slow motion for him. What a series and what a moment he's had tonight.
And he knocks out Tanner Houck with that single to center. 4 for 4 in this game. 2 doubles, a triple, an RBI, a run scored. It's okay to smile, Yordan. Wow. All Houston tonight to this point. 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the 8th inning. And Dusty Baker's team 3 defensive outs away from the 2021 World Series as Adam Ottavino takes over. 2 on, 1 out. Carlos Correa at the plate. Ball 1. Correa hit by a pitch as Tanner Houck hit him. First batter Tanner faced in the 6th. He's also struck out and flied out. That was against Evaldi. Good pitch by Ottavino. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nathan, the starter, gave all he had. 4 1/3, 1 run on 5 hits. The other run on the record of Josh Taylor, the lefty. Compliments of him. Alvarez. Here's a 1-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Great pitch there. Stayed on plane there. He didn't pull that one. He throws across his body. Tough for right-handers. But that ball held its plane and didn't cut. That's what he wanted it to do.
Next pitch. Chop to third, backing up Devers, and he goes to the bag for the out. Only play he had. Two on, 2 out. And Tucker coming up. StatCast is powered by Google Cloud. Remember back in the 7th, the strike him out, throw him out double play. And the exchange for Maldonado at 0.81 seconds, and that throw down at 80 miles an hour, perfectly placed to end the threat for Boston in the 7th. And here comes the pitching coach, Dave Bush, to talk to Ottavino with Kyle Tucker up. Dusty Baker talked to us about winning the last 3 innings. That's always been his philosophy as a manager. You win those last 3 innings and you got a real shot. Well, in this ALCS, innings 1 to 5, Boston leads on the scoreboard 23-10. Innings 6 through 9, Houston leads 23-5.
Yeah. He said the other team's always going to make a run, and if you win the 7, 8, 9, you're either getting back in it or you're putting them away.
Here's Kyle Tucker. He'd like to take a little bit of the drama out of this and add to this 2-0 Houston lead before the heart of the order bats in the 9th for Boston. Ball 1.
Good take, because you know he wants to swing. He's already hit 1 2-out 3-run homer. That was Tucker looking for something up. If it's a breaking ball,
(2-0). If it gets there, Yuli Gurriel, the AL batting champ, is on deck. As it is, the guy who led the American League in hitting since the 1st of May to the end of the regular season, Kyle Tucker, has the count in his favor, 2-0. Good pitch by Ottavino, 2-1. Tucker hits it in the air to left. Back at the wall. Gone. Home run. 5-0 Houston in the 8th.
well, he just hit his second 2-out 3-run homer and an overkill of 2-out runs for the Houston Astros.
They just keep coming. 2-out runs, the story of this series for the Astros. And strike one into Gurriel. And a bubblegum shower for Tucker. 2 runs charged to Houck. But that big swing against Ottavino, that's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. What a moment for Kyle Tucker. Gurriel. 1-2. One, two. Another hit. Fourth hit of the inning for Houston.
Well, they got one central, and he didn't try to pull it. And see, that's why this park plays so good for a lot of these hitters. That left field mini Fenway wall. Just enough. No batting gloves salute.
Ball 1 down and away to Chas McCormick. Four of the 5 runs tonight with 2 out for the Astros. And it's been that story this entire LCS. '27 in the series, the most ever in any single postseason series. The Astros with their 2-out run prowess.
The batting average is ridiculous with runners in scoring position, 2 outs.
McCormick waits. Fouls it back.
And these aren't the kind of numbers where it's like you're down 9-0 and you get 6 2-out runs. These are 2-out backbreakers. These are pile on, take the lead, put it out of reach.
Gurriel takes off and takes second. Since the 8th inning of Game 4 at Fenway, the Astros have outscored the Red Sox 22-1. That's from that Altuve game-tying home run forward. And they haven't looked back. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into right. Verdugo to his left. And that'll do it for the first 8 in Game 6. Dusty Baker congratulates Kyle Tucker. Who delivers a dagger with a 2-out 3-run shot in the 8th. Astros up 5-0. Shot with 2 out by Kyle Tucker and a 5-0 Houston lead into the 9th inning of Game 6. Ryan Presley takes over. Game number 6 of this postseason for the Astros closer. Kike Hernandez first up. Strike one. The Red Sox, the first 3 games of this ALCS, hit .296 as a team. 9 homers, 25 runs. The last 3 games, hitting .115 as a group, 3 runs, 2 homers. Only 2 hits in this game for Boston. Strike 2.
Yeah, you knew that the hitting was going to level off a little bit, but you got to credit what the Astros were able to do in making some adjustments. It all started with that bullpen game, and then of course the last 2 starters, just outstanding.
Kike Hernandez 1 for 3 tonight. He has a triple, Verdugo a single. That's it, the only hits. 0-2. Fly ball into left center. McCormick coming to get it. 1 out. If this is the end of the road for the Boston Red Sox here tonight, a gritty end to a gritty season. Widely picked for 4th in their division, but they never believed that, and they just kept coming after whoever was in their way. They beat the Yankees, they beat Tampa Bay, but they're being shut down here tonight by the Astros, who are up 5-0 and up 3 games to 2. On the other side, going into last year, the Astros needed more than a great manager. They needed a presence, a calming, dignified force who could help bring them out of the turmoil and scandal of the recent past, and they got all that and more with Dusty Baker. The perfect guy for the job. He got him to his 7th game of the ALCS last year. And he's 2 defensive outs away from a chance to manage in his 2nd World Series in his tremendous career.
Yeah, and give these players a lot of credit. I know it's not a ton of players from that team and that storyline that I'm sure they want to go away, but they've proven themselves up to this point. And I don't think that narrative will last very long if they're able to win a World Series after everything you just mentioned that they've been through. Dusty has been a huge part of that.
A steady hand. Now a 1-2 count on Rafael Devers. Strikeout, 2 down. Up to Xander Bogaerts to keep it alive. Presley wants this series to end right now. Red Sox have never been shut out in a postseason elimination game. They've been shut out and they have only 2 hits. Strike 1.
And I've never seen a series, Joe, where talking or walking in the cities, each city, we're done. Like after 3 games, Boston won. After 5 games, I don't know if we got it. It's been an incredible series of swings, and Houston's on the upswing of the last 3 games.
Here comes the 0-1. Fly ball into left. That should do it. Astros win the pennant. Luis Garcia, absolutely phenomenal. Going 5 2/3. No runs, 1 hit, struck out 7, walked 1. And the bullpen, John, over the last 3 games, absolutely shut down the Red Sox lineup. This Houston bullpen lights out.
Yeah, they kicked it into gear. It was a total, complete turnaround and team effort for the Houston Astros to flip the script. Dominated in every category, and that didn't look real good after 3 games. I got to say this, in both parks, too, the fans have been unreal in Fenway and here in Houston, and obviously Houston getting a chance to have their fans a few games more.
Just an electric atmosphere here in Houston. And Johnny B. Baker Jr., Dusty.
Be careful about that toothpick when you're going after him.
Second oldest manager to win a pennant at 72, and that kid, Yordan Alvarez, carried this Houston team offensively.
Yeah, there's no surprise what he's going to win.
Let's send it down to Tom Verducci.
Thanks, Joe. I am with Luis Garcia, and if he needs some relief help, Andrew Dunn-Bauman is here as well. Luis, when did you know that your stuff was better than what you had in Game 2, and more than that, pretty much the game of your life?
Yeah, I mean, I felt great. I mean, I wanted to pitch so bad. I was in the bullpen the last 2 games, and I was excited to pitch. I mean, I'm really happy for today, and I'm really excited.
What was the difference in your stuff? How did you feel out there?
The adjustment that I made with my leg, I think, was a big thing. That helped me a lot, even to throw harder. So I'm really happy. That's what
You should be. Luis, this pitching staff allowed the Red Sox 1 run in their last 26 times at bat. What was the difference in shutting down the Boston offense?
I think it was executing my pitches. That's the basic thing that I did, and I was trying to throw a strike and get ahead, and it worked.
It worked incredibly well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
And now to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Tom. Martin, let's start with Luis Garcia. What was the difference in him tonight?
Strike 1. Won the strike. You know, second game, fall behind a lot of time. You know, walk, Verdugo, he was 3-0 that count, and you know, after that, I give out the homer.
Your throw to throw out Verdugo. 3-2 count. What are you thinking in that situation right there?
You know, I know they probably got to steal to get something going on over there. That's something that I love. You know, I love being behind the plate for those moments, and I love throwing people out.
2019, you were part of this team. You did not win the World Series that year. How much have you thought about that these last 2 years?
Yeah, you know, last year I think we make a good improvement. You know, we were down 3-0, we came back. We couldn't make it all the way, but this year, you know, for spring training, we kind of work hard. We know where we want to be.
Congratulations, Martin. Thanks very much. Joe, back to you.
The Houston Astros go to their 3rd World Series over the last 5 years. They await the winner of the Braves and the Dodgers. They'll get back after it Game 6 tomorrow in Atlanta. This series just flipped, and really from Game 4 on, the end of Game 4 on, this has been really one-sided.
You know,
Houston.
when you look at the numbers, this series is not going to look like it's been close. But there was a lot of moments that separated the innings and the score. There was a lot of close games in Fenway that went the Astros way, and the same thing here. This thing could have changed on a play or two, and you got to give the Astros credit.
Let's go back down to Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Carlos, you guys were down 2-1. You had given up a lot of runs. What were you thinking at that point?
I told you, we've been here before. We know how to handle it. We had a conversation in the clubhouse, and we came to play, brother. That's about it. We came to play. We came to give everything. We didn't have any vacations planned, so we wanted to keep playing baseball. In order for us to do that, we had to play better, and that's what we did the last 3 games.
Luis Garcia today, what did you see?
When I saw him hitting 97 and hitting the spots, I said, it's going to be a tough night for the hitters. I mean, he was outstanding. He was pounding the zone. He was throwing super hard. His cutter, which is his best pitch, was nasty. I mean, it's hard to hit him when he's on his day.
Carlos, 2019 World Series, you guys came home leading 3-2. How important was it to get this done today?
I'm not going to lie to you, Ken. It went through our minds what happened in 2019, so we made sure that we came here to play and finish it in Game 6, and thank God we did. They have a great team over there. We respect them a lot. We know how good they are, so we wanted to get it done today because Game 7, you never know what can happen.
Finally, what drives this team?
Man, I'll tell you, there's a lot of guys out there trying to be the best, and when you're trying to be the best, you help your team. Everybody works every single day to try to be at top of their game, and you can see it when we play the field. We're good, and then we're on the batter's box. We're good also, so it's a great recipe for winning.
Carlos, congratulations. Joe, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kenny. This Astros team just relentless, and they didn't panic, and Dusty told us that. You know, he's been around team after team, and he said these guys just didn't blink.
They didn't blink. They were banged up, and they didn't use it as an excuse, and they got healed up really quickly.
It was pitching by the last two starters, Framber Valdez, Luis Garcia. Incredible hitting by that man, Yordan Alvarez. A big part of the 5-0 win here tonight. Kyle Tucker with a 3-run shot. We'll come back with the ceremonies on the other side of the break here in Houston. See tonight, and Yordan Alvarez. Didn't matter who was on the mound. He hung out line drive after line drive here tonight. Ryan Presley gets the final 3 outs, and Dusty Baker gets it done for the Astros. A winner tonight, 5-0, and a winner 4-2. For the ceremony, let's go down to Kevin Burkhardt.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much. Houston, I feel like, don't know if I hear us in the stadium yet. Let's see. We'll try it again. Houston, there we go. I think we've been here before. How do you feel about your Astros going back to the World Series for the 3rd time in 5 years? All right, what a night it was. Have some people to introduce and some hardware to give out, right? Jim Crane, the owner of the Astros, wife Whitney and family here. James Click, the general manager down here. Dusty Baker, the manager, and your AL champion Houston Astros. Yeah. This trophy, I know you are familiar with this, Jim, but why don't you pick it up? That's all yours once again. You could pass that on around. There you go. Jim, I think back to when you took over this team and you were in the middle of 3 100-loss seasons. How gratifying is it right now to see the success that continues to happen year after year?
Well, it's a tribute to all the guys and all the staff. But listen, we would not be here for these great fans in Houston. They're the best.
No doubt. And how you feeling about your manager and the job that Dusty Baker has done?
Dusty's been great. He came in here in a tough period of time, and he's been steady and strong and kept these guys in line, and I'm really proud of him. Congratulations, Dusty. Did a hell of a job for us.
Jim, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, I see that smile, Dusty. I see that smile. It's been a minute, 19 years since you took a team to the World Series, and guess what? You're going back.
Hey, I'm going back to the World Series. Hey, man. We did this for the H-Town, and I got the greatest guys in the world. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Let me ask you this, Dusty. You take back earlier in the series, Game 4, you're trailing. Boston's up 2-1, a chance for them to go up 3-1 in the series. Since then, you dominated. You outscored them 22-1. How did you turn it around?
Well, pitching, defense, and timely hitting. And plus, these guys always believed that we were going to win. I mean, there was never a doubt in there.
Your pitching was terrific, especially the last few games. But how about the effort from Garcia tonight? Coming off the knee injury, he was sensational.
Yeah. Where is he? Where is he? Garcia!
He's up here somewhere.
Garcia! Ven acá!
Dusty, one last thing before we move on. When the LCS MVP was established, you won the first one back in the day. Give me a little feel for how good the new ALCS MVP is, Yordan Alvarez.
Yeah. I didn't put it good, but I didn't do nearly as good as he did.
Dusty, congrats.
All right, man. Thank you. You know, I just want to thank God for making this all possible. And I think about my dad and Hank Aaron and all the greats that helped mold me to this point. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, I kind of spoiled the surprise, but I think if you watch this series, there was no surprise. The ALCS MVP, Yordan Alvarez. This is yours. Yordan, can anyone get you out? Because it sure didn't look like it.
No, creo que estaba súper enfocado, creo que el apoyo que he recibido desde que llegué a este equipo con los muchachos, creo que nada, estábamos enfocados en ganar y creo que ese era el enfoque que había hoy.
Yeah, I was just really focused, you know. I mean, the support that I got from these guys, my team, means everything. And it's just the amount of focus that I had that I was just focused on doing the job.
Your team and you were incredible hitting with 2 outs, historic hitting with 2 outs. How did you do it?
Sí, claro, todo el mundo sabe la clase de equipo y bateadores que tenemos, ¿no? Por gusto, creo que para mí aquí todos somos MVP, creo que súper contento y todos estamos motivados por los resultados.
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody knows the quality of hitters that we have, and I think more so than winning the MVP, just what it means to win this game as a team. That's what's most important to me. I'm just super happy for the guys.
Yordan, congratulations.
Thank
you. Yordan Alvarez and the Houston Astros, the American League champions, onto the World Series again. Joe, let's go back to you.
Kevin, great job, buddy. Just to put some numbers to what Kevin was talking about, 27 of the 36 runs in this ALCS, scoring with 2 out. And the MVP, Yordan Alvarez, the 24-year-old from Las Tunas, Cuba. 12 for 23 in this ALCS, but 9 for his last 13 to carry this team down the stretch and get him into the Fall Classic.
Whoever comes out of the National League, it's going to be pitching against great hitting. I can't wait. I just literally can't wait.
The Astros win their 3rd pennant over the last 5 years, and they dominated these last few. Dusty Baker going back to the World Series for the first time since he took the Giants there in 2002, and you can just get a feel for how he is loved by his players and fellow coaches and really the baseball community. Yordan Alvarez, he's clapping there, but everybody's been clapping for him. Big number 44 at the age of 24. An absolute stud. We'll continue on the other side of the break from Houston, Texas. Astros win tonight. They beat the Red Sox. They are going to the World Series.